Welcome, everyone, to an America East preseason chat. I'm Andy Katz, pleased to be joined by Colleen Mullen from Albany. The Great Danes picked to win the America East this season in women's basketball. Colleen, you've got an interesting roster that you built during this crazy era of the transfer portal, of players going up, down, sideways, all over the place, NIL. How have you been able to put this thing together?
Thanks, Andy. Well, we're really excited to be picked number one, but again, it's a preseason poll. So, we're not trying to get too excited about that, but, we have worked really hard to get to this point. And to your point of just how we've recruited and how we've really built our culture, it's been, a 4-year process. And it started off with just trying to get buy-in from the players that were here. I was the third head coach in 3 years. And then we just continue to try to make those players better and continue to recruit our international players. We now have half of our team is international. So just continuing to recruit players that fit into our system, which is really just number one, being a player that's high character, that wants to put the team above themselves and really just has a really good work ethic and has potential. So we've continued to just try to focus on player development, build our culture. And it's really exciting that we return, our top 10 scorers from last year, but it's a long season. It's a really competitive league. So we certainly have our work cut out for us.
Colleen, I really believe that when all of this started, there was this assumption that transferring and opening things up was only going to go in one direction. How have you read the situation that it's going up, down, peer to peer, to where programs like in Albany are benefiting from players who might have thought they should be at a higher level or were at a higher level and then have found their footing, at a program that's very good and consistently good in the America East?
Yeah, I think the transfer portal, the whole thing is crazy. I mean, it really is. It challenges our whole profession, and it's really complicated because when for us, for a player like Ellen Hane, who transferred from Wake Forest, she knew Helene Hagerstrand, and she was in a situation, she was at a terrific institution, a great academic school, but it just wasn't the right fit for basketball. And she comes to UAlbany and she's is an immediate impact player for us, no matter who we're recruiting, whether they're in the transfer portal or they're domestic or they're international, that they just kind of, fit into what we're looking for. And that's just being a high character individual, focused on doing well in the classroom and being a great team player.
All right, Colleen. So the season obviously breaks up really in 3 parts. You have your non-conference, your conference, and the postseason tournament where you've got to win over a few days. How is this group prepared? Obviously with 10 back, but still, how are they prepared to compartmentalize those 3 stages of the season?
There's an additional complication to our season this year because we don't have a home court. And last year we were 16-1 in CEFCU Arena. So we start the non-conference schedule with very competitive opponents, but certainly going to be a lot of challenges that we feel like, will prepare us best for the America East. And last year we were picked 5th and we ended up peaking at the right time, but the conference was really competitive and it was a challenge to be able to get to that point and to host those first 2 rounds and then be able to be in the championship game at Maine. But I think we had that underdog mentality last year. We were able to, kind of just gel and kind of go under the radar a little bit. And this year, I think our focus still has to be the same and nothing's going to be handed to us. We have we have a veteran team and we have a lot of players back, but injuries happen. It's a long season. And we have to focus on staying healthy, staying together, and really continuing to have that underdog mentality.
All right. So one last capper for Albany to win the America East, not just on paper at the beginning of the season, but at the end. What specifically on the court has to go right?
I think our culture has to stay as strong as it was last year. I think consistently we got better and we have to elevate. This year it's about elevating, and it's about not being satisfied for what we did last year, and building new successes and building new memories. And I think staying hungry and keeping everybody healthy is going to be key.
Well, Colleen, I appreciate the time. Albany, the pick to win the America East.